Wanyanyekavu, looking amongst the crowd. Anyone who is confused with their abilities, check with these two for help. Joy stood up. I think mine and Grace's gift can be enhanced when working together. I can conduct electricity somewhat of a supercharger, if you will. According to Alicia and Jonathan, I can produce over 150,000 or more amps. We are still working on it. Alicia stood up. I can create a force field at least 15 feet high in front of me or create a dome 15 feet in diameter. So far, I and only I can discharge objects out of the field, but nothing we have tried can penetrate it. Wanyanyekavu stood up, shaking his head. Sabaoth is able. I'm very pleased to hear of your findings, as Joam and Jonathan already know, but the rest do not. My gift is that I know if one is lying, or simply, I can read a person's heart, and I have a second gift as well. I can see into the future up to 10 minutes, but during the jeûne and our training. Now I see ahead of time as I please. Before, it would only appear in visions when danger was about to happen. They stood there discussing their gifts, when suddenly, in the middle of nowhere, they were surrounded by thousands of anakitas. Wanyanyekavu, confused and shocked because he had not seen it in his vision, shouted, Iwa! Everyone formed a circle with their backs against each other. Wanyanyekavu shouted, Impi! There he saw a figure moving toward them. When the figure reached the front, it was Mletsi, and the anakitas disappeared. Please sit. Jonathan fell to the ground, sobbing like a baby. Everyone looked at him. Mletsi said, Leave him, for Sabaoth is dealing with this man for a special reason. He stopped and blessed Jonathan by touching him on the head and whispering in his ear. After a moment, he continued, The time for battles nears, and Sabaoth has truly prepared you all for what is coming. For the next 6 months, now that they have received their gifts, it's time to teach them what Yael and I have taught you. After that, you shall see blood and death until you enter Tucson. After Pointe de you must leave this place and journey to Roper Lake in Cactus Flats, Arizona. You will not see me again until you arrive at that location. Letzi disappeared. Wanyanyekavu and the rest of the warriors discussed what they had seen that day before they prepared for the next day, and they all rested. Wanyanyekavu laid down for the night and wrote, I realized. It would seem hard, so one might think, but yet and still. I ask, why are there so many questions about life with very few answers? There are some who put their trust in others, then I realized. I realized this, not for you, but for myself. There will never be any more answers. And if there are, they will be made up of men. By men. So I thought. Searched my heart. Not man's word, for they perish. Not philosophy, for it's just playing with words. Not law, for man's laws, it's so perverted. You see, I realized. And you just might not, especially at this time. It's not something on your mind, but when you do, will you humble yourself or simply call it craziness? May your help come. Many think that this help, that I got is not. I realized that greater is he that is in me than he who rules the world. For he who rules with pearls, greed, hatred, anger, and lust. I realized pearls for the values it brings. That money that it creates causes greed. And greed causes hatred, then anger. Yes, I say, then lust is conceived. I can go on, but to understand me is to understand he who sent me. To many it sounds strange, but hell, I'm peculiar. To the mind of the carnal, even he that is flesh, is just that. Flesh. But let me say, he that is of the Spirit can see the power, the glory, forever. Amen. I realized, after I searched my heart, did my part. I found that every man is a liar, and only one is the truth. So, until you find that power, that glory, life will be confusing to you. Hard, and let's not forget painful. Open your heart, open your eyes. So you can say, Hey, I realized.